Jungle viewers, Happy New Year, Happy 2023. Again with you is your favorite storyteller, Stanley Kareithi from Nairobi, Kenya. Hope you are having a good time. Last year was a very good year for us, especially those that are in the tourism industry. After 2.5 years of COVID, we finally got to get busy. And we were really busy. We had safaris back to back, and it was good to be out in the wild again to do what we love most. And the highlight of my last year is a story about the eternal enemies. Everybody got enemies. The first enemy, the number one enemy for the animals is the Homo sapiens. The number one enemy for the hyenas is the lions. And my story today is about this pride of lions in the Mara and how they were able to fight off some hyenas as they fought for territory, because lions and hyenas are competitors for food. And this is my story. We had this group. We had 3 vehicles, myself, my colleague Edwin Salampo, and Benedict Dabuki, and we were in the Great Masai Mara. And one morning we had a plan to go look for these nomadic male lions that had just left the pride and they were on their own. We had seen them like 2 days before. So this morning we decided, let's go look for them. And we left the camp at 6:15 in the morning, and in about half an hour, we were very lucky that we found these 4 nomadic boys, 3.5 years, almost 4 years old, roaming in the plains of the Mara. And all of them, one after the other, they were headed up to this hill near the Rhino Ridge, which is in the central part as you head north towards the Olololo escarpment. So we decided to follow them and see what their mission was. And we followed these lions for about an hour or so. And finally, we found out that they were all headed for this particular bush that was on top of a hill. There was a clump of orange-leaved croton bushes, and some days before we had seen some hyenas in a den around that bush. So we suspected that something nasty was going to happen. So we drove ahead and waited for the lions to make it up to this hill. And we could see them coming from a long way away. They were coming straight to where we were. And in the den, some hyenas were able to sense that some lions were coming. So they started screaming, because there is a lot of conflict between lions and hyenas. They are competitors for food. When it comes to strength, when it is one-on-one, the lion will always win against a hyena. But the hyenas, most of the time, they succeed because their strength is in numbers. There is so many of them together. There's a whole clan. A group of hyenas, we call them a clan. Whoever named the hyenas a clan, I don't think they are anywhere related to people, because they are nasty, they are mean, they are cruel. If I was naming the hyenas, I would say a gangster of hyenas. Anyway, a clan of hyenas was hiding in this burrow. They have a den that is made by the aardvark, the ant-eater. That's where they give birth, that's where they go for hiding. So when they smelled that the enemies were coming, one after the other, they started calling. Whoop! 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 And it went on and on and on. And in the call is like a distress call. It's like, please, an enemy is coming, let's get ready. It's like an alarm call, it's like a whistle. As the lions got close, the hyenas decided one after the other to get out of this barrow, and everybody for himself. And they were shooting out of this barrow like, you know, that potato gun, one after the other. And the hyenas, as they got close to the den, the lions, as they got close to the den, they started in fact running towards the den. And the hyenas are coming out in big numbers. They were, close to 50 hyenas. Everybody going different ways. The lions got there, the three of them, the three nomadic males. They have a mohawk. They don't have a fully grown male. The mane is short and is only at the back of the head. It looks like a mohawk. So they're surrounding this bush and they're trying to get the hyenas are jumping out of the barrow. Everybody is trying to run for his life. And unfortunately, there was this hyena, I think it was a mommy hyena, that snoozed on the job. Instead of running the other way, she came out of the barrow and she ran straight towards the lions. And one of these boys pinned this hyena down and she went straight for the head. The others came and they squeezed this head, they squeezed the life out of this hyena. She let out a scream and it was like, my friends, you can't let me die. I need your help. It was so loud that hyenas that were running away, now instead of running away, they started coming back to rescue their own. And everybody was coming, hyenas coming from everywhere. Even other different clans in the Mara, away from this place, they started coming because the call can go miles away. I think some of the hyenas came from the Serengeti because in about an hour or so, we had hyenas everywhere. They were just so many, you could not count them. My guests in the car, they would not even shoot. This was the, how do I put it? Because there was no way to shoot. It was just, you sit there and you try to digest whatever was unfolding. It was chaotic. They killed this hyena. The hyenas came and everybody is screaming, they are calling, they are just before the hyenas decided to strike and go for these boys, there were 3 black-maned lions that owned this territory. And as all this was happening, they heard the commotion and they started running to see who was intruding, who was this guy, what was happening in our territory. So 3 big black-maned boys, they started coming from the opposite side of the hill. They crossed a river and they came running. And one hyena saw the big guys coming. When it comes to competition or when there is a face-off between the lions and the hyenas can face female lionesses. They can also face young boys. But they do not dare face a grown-up male lion because it's too much for them. So when one hyena saw a big black-maned guy coming with 2 of his friends following behind, he let out a different call. And I tell you, all the hyenas, I think they are still running. They put a reverse gear, they made a U-turn, and they started running, everybody for himself. They were all running, and we were like, why are they all running away? What happened? Then in a few minutes, we saw these big boys coming, and they were panting. All of them, the 3 of them. They came, when the 4 nomadic boys saw the big guys, they retrieved into the bushes because they were in the Rem territory. They were in the wrong area. They had been kicked out, and this was not a place for them to be. Because what happens with the boys, when guys are born in a pride, the gestation period is about 3.5 months. They are born in a pride, several females together, maybe 1 boy, 2 boys, or even 3 boys in the group. But when boys get to the age of 3 or 3.5, the moment they start showing some interest in their sisters, they are told this is not done at home, and they are kicked out by their mothers and by their daddies because they do not want inbreeding. It's a natural way of avoiding inbreeding. So they are kicked out at 3.5. And for about 2 years, 3 years, they are on their own. They scavenge because they don't know how to hunt. They have been fed since they were born by their mothers. Now it's time to be on their own and to depend on themselves. So these guys, when they saw the big guys coming, they knew they were in the wrong area, they were not supposed to be there, and they started running away. The big boys were so furious that these boys had not learned their lesson. In the commotion, again, one of the boys, the young boys, he was not lucky enough, and he was cornered by these 3 guys, and he was pinned down. I'm telling you, he was given a beating of a lifetime. A few slaps, and one of the big guys, I think he was the lead guy, the black main, he looked like a Scarface, lots of scars, because lions have a lot of scars, especially with age, because there's sort of conflict, there's sort of fighting for territory, things like that. So he was a bad guy, he looked scarred. He pinned this boy down, and after a few slaps, he straight away went for the family jewels, and he crushed them. This male lion, the nomadic male, he yelled like a small baby. He cried for his life. But this guy was not letting go. He crushed the family jewels. We watched it happen. Finally, they left this young one for the dead. The other 3 young boys, they had already crossed the river and they were running the other way. They were going uphill just as fast as their legs could carry them. The 3 black male lions, after teaching this boy a lesson, they didn't kill him. They left him for the dead. They went back to the bush, they went around, they found that a hyena had been killed. They, tossed the carcass a little bit just to make sure that it was dead. They went under another acacia tree. They laid down there, and that was the end of our morning drive. I have been on safari many times, but this one experience rings in my mind forever. I've heard about the conflicts, how lions and hyenas steal kills from each other, but I had never seen it. We saw this in May of last year with a photographic group from Wyoming. Viewers, friends, subscribers, if you want to see the real deal, if you want to see it for yourself, this is the place to be. Kenya has got a lot to offer. We are here, we are happy to be back doing what we love most, and we can't wait to host you in Kenya. Keep subscribing and hitting those like and share buttons. And thank you for watching. See you in my next video. Thank you.